This is the solution video for section 6.3, problem number 3. So we start off with dy dx equals the square root of xy. So the first step is for us to separate the variables. But when I have the square root of x times y, I need to figure out how I can deal with that. So what we want to do is we want to realize that the square root of xy is actually the square root of x times the square root of y. And so if I have dy dx equals this, I'm going to multiply by dx and I'm going to divide by the square root of y. So I have dy over root y equals root x dx. So now the variables are separate, and so that means I'm going to have to integrate. All right, so on the left side, how do I integrate dy over the square root of y? I'm going to rewrite this as y to the negative 1/2 dy. And on the right side, I'm going to rewrite this as x to the positive 1/2 dx. All right, so on the left side, when I integrate y to the negative 1/2, I'm going to use the power rule. So I'm going to add 1 to the power, so that becomes y to the positive 1/2, and divide by the new power of 1/2. And then remember, I'm going to add in a c, but I only have to do that once. All right, x to the 1/2, so I'm going to add 1 to the power, so that becomes x to the 3/2 divided by 3/2, and then, of course, plus c. So the only variation that you might see is like, instead of dividing by 1/2, I might have 2y to the 1/2 equals 2/3 x to the 3/2 plus c. So now we're not given information to find the value of c, so this is our equation. Now, this is implicitly defined because it's not y equals, and I believe this is the version that I have on the answer sheet. But if we wanted to solve explicitly, we would divide by 2, and then we would square both sides to find the value of y explicitly.